As I'm sure you all know, Beverley Francis-Gibson is the CEO of Together Women Rise. She previously served as the president and CEO of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, which is based in nearby Hanover, Maryland. And she has more than 25 years of experience serving nonprofits and community foundations. She has an extensive background in philanthropy, fundraising, grant writing, and organizational management. She has worked on behalf of women and girls throughout her professional and personal career. She has also led organizations whose mission address issues of mental illness, HIV and AIDS, homelessness, poverty, domestic violence, and women's issues. She is currently a member of the Women's Impact Fund. She's a mentor with She Can, a member of the Network of Engaged International Donors. She's a member of the Grant Makers for Effective Organizations. She has served on the steering committee for Philanthropy Together's We Give Summit and volunteers with various organizations in her spare time. And I thought, what spare time? She is a native of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. She holds a BA in Public Relations and Communications and an MA in Industrial and Community Counseling from Eastern Kentucky University in Richmond, Kentucky. I want to welcome Beverley here today. And thank her for being here all day. Yes.
So, we made a decision to celebrate Together Women Rise's 20th anniversary this year. We decided we would not hold one conference, although that was suggested, and that we would seriously think about how we would bring together our vast community of women from around this country. And how could we do that in a way that would honor them and honor the ways that they support Together Women Rise? So we started in Greenville, South Carolina, which is the beginning of Together Women Rise and Dining for Women. And we're culminating our year-long celebration today in our nation's capital. And I think it's very fitting. So today I want to talk about the power of women and the future of Rise. Together Women Rise, that is. So as you've heard, Together Women Rise was created because two women, Marsha Wallace and Barbara Collins, wanted to make a difference. They recognized how fortunate they were, and they realized that they didn't need another birthday gift. But what they wanted to do was to support marginalized women and provide opportunities for them around the world. They chose not to do this alone and realized by inviting friends and other women together, they could maximize giving, and so it was. For the last 20 years, Together Women Rise has been a trailblazer focused on one mission: to bring together a community of women and allies committed to supporting women and girls in having access. So what does that really mean? It means that early on we understood that equality is a privilege, an exception in many parts of the world. We understood that our collective philanthropy was the only way to amplify giving in order to provide opportunities that would empower women and girls to lead and to create their own destinies. We understood that we needed to be champions for other women and girls who are our sisters globally. So since our inception, we have launched more than 1,000 chapters across the United States and internationally. Women come together each month and pool their resources to support women and girls in other countries that they may never meet. The relationships and the bonds that have been created have been unintended outcomes, but ones that we cherish and that we hold dear. As you've heard, over $11 million have provided financial support to more than 260 projects and organizations in over 70 countries around the world. We support organizations who are also fighting for the dignity of women and girls by ending early child marriages and ending gender-based violence and supporting maternal and child health and supporting women-led businesses and supporting education. We have supported more than 5 million women, girls, families, and community members that are now empowered to represent their communities in ways that we could never imagine. So what I say is that we have a lot to celebrate. 20 years is a long time. But we also know that we still have a lot to do. There is much to be done. And so as we continue paving the path to gender equality for the next 20 years, here are 4 things that I want to share with you that I know for sure. I've traveled across this country this year, meeting members from everywhere. And each of the events that we have held have been amazing. And it has been like a family reunion. For me, it's been a privilege to meet members who have been in this organization with us from the very beginning. So what I know is that the future of Together Women Rise is bright. You don't get to 20 years by not doing something right. And I want us to continue to be a beacon for grassroots organizations who are sometimes not supported by other organizations. I will share with you that last year, I started in March of 2022, and I deliberately participated in our grants program. I wanted to understand it, I wanted to lift the veil, and I wanted to be a part of meeting our grantees where they were. And when we called our grantees to let them know that they had been selected for funding from Together Women Rise, many of them wept, and we wept with them. Many of them said, "Beverley, we feel seen for the very first time. We feel recognized for the work that we're doing tirelessly every single day. And we didn't realize that someone else felt the same way about the work that we do." Together Women Rise has galvanized so many organizations that started with a thought or an idea, or I wanted to solve a problem, and they didn't know how they would do it. And Together Women Rise gave so many organizations that opportunity. And we're still doing that. So what I know for sure is that our featured grants program, which we're in the midst of actually demonstrating right now, will continue to support projects, will continue to support organizations led by women in low-income countries in the global South. I have been reading grants. Someone said to me, "Why are you reading grants, Beverley?" As a CEO. And I said, because I want to stay close to what keeps us going. I want to understand what our grantees are dealing with. So as I'm reading these grant applications, it makes me remember why we do what we do. I will tell you, we received over 170 applications on October 5th. I'm reading half of those, and I still have 14 to go, and I have to get it done by Monday. But what this has done for me is it's re-energized me, understanding why this organization is as powerful as it is. You've heard about our Transformation Partnerships grants. Transformation Partnerships are the opportunity for us to invest in long-term systemic changes to address the root causes of problems that are pervasive. to look at the laws that prohibit and keep women and girls from realizing their dreams and aspirations. We're looking at the customs and the beliefs in countries that perpetuate paternalism, colonialism, and discrimination. So transformation partnerships fund organizations at a higher level, $100,000. And members have asked me, why are we doing this? And my answer is this. We are going to continue to support grassroots organizations, but in order to have an impact, a big impact, we also have to address the issues and the laws and the customs that keep women and girls stuck. We have to. So what I know for sure is that we're going to continue to invest $1 million annually in our grants and our partnership programs. We have to. And advancing justice starts with supporting the individuals and the institutions who are working tirelessly to address the underlying drivers of inequality and inequity. And we want to be a part of that movement. We want to be a part of transforming the world. We're doing that already. But we want to be a part of doing that long term. We do have monthly webinars that we are going to continue to sponsor that highlight our grantees and give our members an opportunity to learn about the issues, not just the grant, but the issues that our grantees are facing every single day. We're going to continue to support our grantees through learning and meaningful connections among our grantees and with our members. And that is important to us. We're going to continue to highlight the culinary cuisines. I'm a foodie. So we're going to continue to highlight the cuisines of those countries because learning for us needs to be holistic. It needs to be rich. And we also do that through our book clubs. Many of you heard that we just hosted Eliza Reid, the First Lady of Iceland, this week. And it was fascinating to hear about the advancements of gender equality in Iceland. So we're going to continue our book clubs. I had the privilege earlier this year of traveling to India with Vicky and many of our members. And I will tell you that we were late literally for every single excursion because once we met with the grantees, we didn't want to leave and they didn't want us to leave. We went to their schools, we went to their homes, we talked to their families about their aspirations. And every single parent, mother, daughter, brother, sibling said exactly what we say that we want for our children right here in the United States. So why would we stop doing that? So we are going to have our travel program again next year. And Wendy and I are working with Elevate Destinations. I know Catherine was here earlier to continue to do that. Because again, this is another way that we foster understanding. We foster relationships. We foster that shared interest about the grantees. So we're going to continue to do that. So the second thing that I know is that Together Women Rise is all of you. Every single person sitting in this room, whether you're a member of a chapter, you're a grantee, you're a member of our board or our staff, you are the essence of this organization. So the chapter model isn't going anywhere. I'm saying it again. The chapter model isn't going anywhere. We understand that chapters and members are the nucleus of this organization. And why would you get rid of that? And I have had the privilege this year, I've been taking notes as I meet with the members and I've attended chapter meetings. Some of them I've just shown up for and they didn't know I was coming because, I do that. And they were like, Beverly's in the room. I said, but I'm here because I want you to know that as the CEO of this organization, I'm committed to all of you. I'm committed to hearing what you think. I'm committed to hearing what we can do to make our organization stronger and better and more viable. So I'm doing this because I care and it's because it's a personal passion for me. So Together Women Rise is all of the people that support us, that volunteer tirelessly and give of their time. We have so many chapter leaders and regional leaders and mentors and volunteers who are working behind the scenes every single day to make this organization wonderful. And I am privileged to be a part of it. This organization is also our staff. We have 10 women who are working effortlessly and tirelessly every day. And I said to our staff recently, I have never called any of you or sent a text, I shouldn't say at midnight, and you have not responded. It's not a requirement, but our staff believes in the mission of this organization and do so willingly. Our board of directors, Betsy Teutsch and Vicki Bush-Joseph, are members of our board. And I am privileged to work with the board of directors of Together Women Rise. These are women who care about the future of this organization. They're listening, and they want us to come up with solutions and strategies that will keep us doing what we do for the next 20 years. And I'm privileged to work with our board as well. Together Women Rise is fundable. So I'm a fundraiser. You gotta raise money to give it away. And one of the things that I am very interested in is looking at creative partnerships. I think Gary and I are gonna meet to talk about some creative partnerships, because all of us know that we cannot do this work alone, and nor do we want to. But in order to make more grants, in order to be seen at the table where some of the decisions are being made, we also have to have revenue to do that. We want to continue our strategic partnerships, our transformation partnerships, our featured grants program. Our board chair, who is not with us today, and I met last fall, and she said, so Beverly, it would be great as you're revamping the featured grants program, you could also create a mini grants program. And I'm like, ooh. I said, can I perfect this first? But the goal is we'd like to also support smaller organizations, many of whom submitted grant applications, but we can't fund them yet. And I say yet. So imagine if we can raise more money to do that, and we can support smaller organizations who are also doing great work. Did you know that less than 2% of all funding is supporting women and girls? Less than 2%. So we have a responsibility, I believe, to raise more money so that we can do more. I believe that women cannot support us, women and men, if they don't know that we exist. And we have made a lot of commitments and investments in social media, on our website. We've made some tweaks and changes this year, and we're going to continue to do that. I have 3 adult young women who are my daughters who say to me, hey, Mom, you're going to have to do something about the model. Because in order to get us to show up, I'm talking 38 to 20, that's my youngest, 26. You're going to have to do something to get our attention. So we're thinking about how do we do that? And rather than think for them, one of my thoughts is why not form an advisory committee of young women from around the country and let them tell us what we need to do to get them to come into the fold. My daughters are like, Mom, we're not on Facebook. They say, you are. But that's not where we are. And so again, we have to think about how do we meet them where they are in order to entice them to be a part of us. So Together Women Rise is also bold. And I want to share with you that we will remain committed to unapologetically supporting global gender equality. And we imagine that in a few years from now, we will have many more chapters. COVID has done a number in all of our organizations, but we're still here. And so what I say to you is, imagine in a few years where we have more members who've become ambassadors for this amazing organization, and more chapters, and more grants. And we're getting phone calls from the media. We're not trying to track them down. They're trying to track us down because they want to hear about what the work that we're doing as an organization. In addition, we want the men, and I thank all of you who are in the room for supporting us, because as you've heard all day, we cannot do this without you, nor do we want to. So I just want to imagine that we have an all men's chapter somewhere, and men are sitting around talking about what could we do to continue to support this organization. So if any of you are interested in creating a chapter, let me know. 20 years from now, I hope that we could all look back and be proud to have been affiliated with this organization. Why? Because we would have made a greater impact on the lives of women and girls and on global gender equality. So in closing, I invite you to join us on this journey. We are building a movement. We are building a community where women of all races can communicate and can continue to connect and support and take care of each other. I believe that power, real power, comes when women can stand before anybody and share their own stories, and that their destinies are being fulfilled because we're supporting them, and that they know that we're kindred spirits no matter where we are in the world. So I want us to give women the space to feel their own strength, to tell their own stories, because when women do that, the world is forever changed. And I thank you.